organised mass lobbies for several years now, but this year is particularly important. This year alone, 13 Tibetans have self-immolated, and 12 of those 13 have died. In the last 12 months, 25 Tibetans have self-immolated. And alongside those self-immolations, there have been many protests, and the most recent involve hundreds of school children who, on receipt of new textbooks that have been promoting more and more Chinese propaganda, have taken to the streets and attempted to protest.
My name's Anne Davey and I'm from Folkestone in Kent, and I'm here today at Westminster to lobby my MP. My MP is Damien Collins. Obviously there are the two asks for this mass lobby. We are asking our MPs to ask the government to coordinate with other governments of other countries, so that it's a concerted effort to try and put pressure on China. The second ask of the MPs today is that they sign an early day motion which has been placed by Fabian Hamilton, who is the chairperson of the all-party parliamentary Tibet group.
Hi, my name's Diane Hackney. I live in Walthamstow. I've just been to see my MP, Stella Creasy, who is a junior minister in the Shadow Cabinet. We raised some issues with her regarding Tibet, in particular about the human rights side of things, and also the seemingly lack of pressure on China to move in the right direction towards solving some of the conflicts and the pressures that are happening there.
I saw my MP Joan Ruddock. She's MP for Lewisham, and I've never actually met her before, and so I wasn't sure about her understanding of what's been happening in Tibet recently. So that was the first thing I asked her, and she didn't really know that tensions had been escalating. I think she'd vaguely heard that there'd been some self-immolations, but she didn't know any detail. So I kind of filled her in to the best of my knowledge on that. It was quite good to be able to highlight that as a focus for her, and she readily agreed to the two asks to ask for a multilateral approach. And she also agreed that their policy of so-called constructive engagement of the UK government since the 1990s, and also other Western governments, had failed the Tibetan people.
I was in the debate, and then when I came out, you'd gone.
I'm actually from Free Tibet. Do you mind saying a couple of words to comment? Yeah, coming to lobby today. It's great to hear you speaking about Tibet so positively. But are you going to try and make more public statements about Tibet when the Tibet issue comes up?
Yes, I mean, I've heard the demand for that. Obviously, practicality is we have to manage all the requests for us to do things on lots of issues, but I think there's a reason given what's happening in Tibet is more acute, more people are dying, for us to do that. And I will try personally and with my colleagues to make sure we make more public statements. But I'll also try to make sure that the government can, at appropriate frequencies, make public statements too, because both parliamentarians are useful, but government is useful. I hope also we can pursue some of the other things I suggested, which is trying to get all governments across the EU, all major governments, to put Tibet on their agendas, whatever they're talking to the Chinese about. So the Chinese are so fed up with hearing about Tibet,
yes, exactly,
that in the end they decide it is actually better for them and easier for them that they come to some new political arrangements.
Oh,
so that must be
fantastic.
the objective.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, well, thank you very,
Thank you very much for your concern.
Okay.
And I've got your little green card.
Okay.
We know that it's terribly important for the international community and the British government to speak out and condemn what's happening inside Tibet, condemn the use of force being used against unarmed Tibetan civilians, condemn the arbitrary detention of Tibetans, condemn the use of torture, which is widespread and routine. So far, the British government hasn't done enough, and we hope that today, with all the Tibetans and their supporters who have been at Westminster, lobbying their MPs, demanding that the British government make a public statement, that finally Mr Cameron, the Prime Minister, or the Foreign Secretary will finally make a statement asking China to stop its repression and for the occupation of Tibet to come to an end.